Welcome to Plus Life, the show that's all about inspiring you to live a better life. In this episode, we'll hear from rock legend Chuck Panozzo of Styx, and it all starts in 1 minute.
For people living with HIV, keep being you and ask your doctor about Biktarvy. Biktarvy is a complete one-pill, once-a-day treatment used for HIV in certain adults. It's not a cure, but with one small pill, Biktarvy fights HIV to help you get to and stay undetectable. That's when the amount of virus is so low, it cannot be measured by a lab test. Research shows people who take HIV treatment every day and get to and stay undetectable can no longer transmit HIV through sex.
Serious side effects can occur, including kidney problems and kidney failure. Rare, life-threatening side effects include a buildup of lactic acid and liver problems. Do not take Biktarvy if you take dofetilide or rifampin. Tell your doctor about all the medicines and supplements you take if you are pregnant or breastfeeding, or if you have kidney or liver problems, including hepatitis. If you have hepatitis B, do not stop taking Biktarvy without talking to your doctor. Common side effects were diarrhea, nausea, and headache.
If you're living with HIV, keep loving who you are and ask your doctor if Biktarvy is right for you.
He is a 70s rock icon and legend. He's an LGBTQ activist and an HIV advocate as well. It gives me great pleasure to say hello, Chuck Panozzo. How are you, sir?
Hey, Carl. Very well, thank you.
You are an astounding bass player, but you also played the accordion. At what point do you go from accordion to bass?
I always perform an instrument I don't play at all. I started with the guitar. I started with drums, like my brother, who needs two drummers. Then I switched to the guitar and then the bass. So I am the bass player.
I want to dive into Styx a little bit, and for the Gen Z who may not be familiar with some of those iconic tracks, but you guys actually have a new album in the works, right?
We just came off one that was very successful called Mission, and it's kind of a performance piece, which I really loved. So they're working on the material for us. So we just got a little bits of it. There's material being run all the time, which is really kind of a wonderful thing to be part of.
Yeah, and to be bringing it back, Styx, it traces back really, founded in 1972, the band, but as I said in the intro there, you've really been playing music your whole life, haven't you? What does music mean to you?
This picture is from 1962. You can see it. John, Dennis, and myself, we started this little band called the Trade Winds, and then became TW4. And in 1972, I was teaching high school in City, Chicago, and I had a call you to have a record deal. And so I can either look from 1972 for my first contract, or to this cheesy little KQ that we played New Year's Eve and never stopped performing.
In reading your bio notes, young rock musician, but you left for a year to go to seminary, which you would think is quite polar opposites, wouldn't you?
I was 14 years old. I was there for a year. I was in Saugus, Michigan. Of course, you can't go anywhere, can't do anything. But we had access to the lake, so I walked through the forest and go through the sand dunes and make sure no priests followed you. But I found a sense of spirituality there that I really didn't find in a form of religion. This is nothing what I expected. It was an experience.
I've heard many musicians give interviews where they say their music is their religion. Do you relate to that kind of statement?
When you hear songs like Come Somewhere from yourself, these are songs that are written out from experience. And we give our audience permission to be young again. And by doing that, we allow ourselves to be young again. So I think that's a very cool part of what we do. I don't know if that's religion, but it's been a huge part of my life. I think I still feel more of a teacher. That's why I strong up on advocacy. Also in making sure people are aware of HIV and the same with HIV, and also an AIDS survivor, which is not a bad thing to have accomplished.
Certainly not a bad thing to accomplish, and to be, especially because you were diagnosed, I believe, in 1991. Did it make you question any of your sort of thoughts on faith when you got that diagnosis?
So I wasn't shocked that I would have HIV because my friends were dying of AIDS. But the first, you just recriminate yourself, like, what have I done? What have I done? How did I let this happen? And I think there's a lot of that kind of shame and blame.
Were there moments for you that you were just crippled or taken down by the fear of what this virus would mean for your body of work, past and moving forward?
But as I look back at that, it gave me the strength to say you're going to either cry like a little baby and let this thing take you away, or you're going to beat this thing, no matter how difficult it is. Plus, I had a band to support me, had a family to support me.
I never realized, Chuck, the level of internalized stigma I carried for 10 years until I actually spoke publicly about it, even though my friends and family knew. But 2 years ago, when I told my story, this sort of relief off my shoulders.
When you go down that road to your truth, it's not always easy. It takes a little while to understand that.
How you are finding this whole coronavirus pandemic. As a man who lived through the AIDS pandemic.
I think it's ridiculous that people don't listen to a doctor who's a researcher scientist. If I listened to politicians and to the church and the government, I'd be dead. So I have this strength about myself that I've been through this before.
Well, listen, this has been an absolute joy in talking to you. Thank you for the decades of music, but beyond that, thank you for the decades of your advocacy and your support and your fearless approach to educating the world about HIV and AIDS.
Thank you, Karl. Bye-bye.